Some very well prepared homes in Royal Oak are still taking longer to sell, and it is confusing sellers because at the exact same time, other homes are getting multiple offers. So people are asking, are prices dropping in Royal Oak? And honestly, not exactly. But I'll tell you one thing, buyer behavior has absolutely changed. I recently sold a home in Royal Oak that was definitely prepared for the market. It was staged, it was decluttered, we had a pre-inspection, professional photography, and there was a multi-tier digital ad campaign that ran across multi-social media platforms. And you know what? It still took 38 days for it to sell. We originally entered the market at $515,000, and that was based on comparable properties that sold. We repositioned it to $499,000, and it eventually sold for $490,000. But here's the most important part. The home wasn't bad. It was actually so well prepared. But today's buyers, they are much more selective than even just a few years ago. And that's the shift that I'm seeing right now in Royal Oak, Michigan. For years, homes in Royal Oak, they moved quickly, almost regardless of the present condition or pricing strategy. Inventory was so tight, competition was intense, and buyers were waiving contingencies. And many homes sold extremely fast. Today, it feels a whole lot different. Not because the buyers have disappeared. Buyers are out there, very active, and there's a lot of buyers out there. But they are analyzing homes much more carefully now. They are paying attention to not only pricing, they're paying attention to layout. What does it feel like when they first walk in the home? What's the functionality? What are the updates? What's the long-term value? How does the monthly payment impact our present lifestyle? Also, inspection concerns. And because of all of that, the market is starting to split. What do I mean by split? Meaning well-prepared homes that are positioned right still sell fast, while other homes that don't meet buyer expectations, they're sitting, and they're sitting longer. But homes that are priced appropriately and well-prepared, those still sell very fast. But what is the biggest differential? So when a home is disconnected, honestly, buyers, they recognize that, and they know very quickly. So I have a buyer I've been working with for several years, and we recently competed on a Royal Oak home where we were the second offer in line in a multiple offer situation. Well, the first buyer ended up backing out, which allowed us to move forward. But once my buyer completed their inspections, it uncovered major concerns and health and safety factors. So my buyer decided to walk away. And honestly, that was a smart move. Just because a home received multiple offers does not automatically mean buyers view it as a strong long-term value. So the same buyer, we pursued another Royal Oak home. This was a completely different experience. This particular home was beautifully updated, in excellent condition, aligned with buyer expectations, and positioned correctly within the market. And we ended up offering $17,000 over asking price. And you know what? We still didn't win. The winning buyer offered an appraisal gap guarantee, and they secured the home. What does that tell you? It tells you everything you need to know about what's actually happening in the market right now in real time. Buyers are still willing to compete aggressively for homes that feel aligned. And that is the key word, is alignment. One of the biggest mistakes that I see sellers that they're making right now is they're making an assumption that just because your home is prepared, that guarantees them offers. Preparation matters, don't get me wrong. Professional photography matters, video, staging, pre-inspections, marketing, all that matters tremendously. But it does not override buyer psychology. And that is something that we don't talk about often. In today's market, it requires interpretation. It's not let's just reduce the price. It's been sitting for a while. What a seller needs to do is understand buyer behavior. Watch how buyers respond to their home in the market. Identify hesitation. And then reposition strategically. And understand where expectations are felt on a disconnected level. That's a completely different approach than simply chasing the market and taking repeated price reductions. I'm also seeing this more in higher price points in Royal Oak. Homes that are priced at or above $500,000 can move slowly if condition does not match expectation, layout feels off, pricing feels disconnected, and buyers, if they compare it to the new inventory that's coming on the market. All at the same time, Royal Oak still actively has luxury sales happening over $1 million. And there's quite a few of those $1 million homes. So the market's not collapsing. It's becoming more selective. So the question again, are home prices dropping in Royal Oak, Michigan? Broadly? No, not really. But buyers are becoming far less forgiving. And that's the real story. Homes that feel aligned with buyer expectations are still moving quickly. Homes that don't, they're sitting a lot longer than sellers expect. And understanding difference is what matters more in today's market. And honestly, that's what makes this market feel more confusing right now, because both things are true at the exact same time. Some homes are sitting longer than expected, and other homes are still creating intense competition. The difference, though, is alignment. This market requires more than exposure. It requires understanding how buyers are actually responding in real time. And that's a very different conversation than simply reducing price over and over.